Get used to that. 15 seconds, unpausing now. Okay, so this time Heman has started at 12 o'clock in Lost Temple, whilst Madfrog has started at 3 o'clock. And again, the races are the same. The races will not change throughout all these commentaries. Human versus Night Elf. So, quick look at the human player, and you can see that he is doing the repaired altar. This is kind of standard amongst human players now, this repaired altar and repaired farm, which allows the human player to get an archmage out very quickly, and especially on a map like Lost Temple, this is very good because it allows him to quick expand just that little tad quicker. Making that expansion quicker means that harassing a demon hunter, if a demon hunter is on its way to the expansion, might come across it just as it's finishing rather than when it's constructing. And even if he comes across it whilst it's constructing, it will be a lot further on than it otherwise would be if you just did a standard altar build. And if you're worried about wasting income on the repaired altar, you've got to remember, because you're creeping quicker, because you're creeping earlier, you get your gold income earlier and you kind of get more creeping gold, so it kind of pays for itself, so it's got to be a worthwhile build order, and that's why it's become standard. So you might want to do that if you're a human player, look at these replays and see the best possible way of doing it. So Madfrog doing an Ancient of War at the top of the ramp. He is not doing a Tree of Life at the top of the ramp, which you could say was more standard. This kind of Ancient of War at the top of the ramp is pretty standard though. It's one or other. As you can see, Madfrog just got a nice little detonate there on the elemental, which means the elemental dies rather quickly. And unfortunately for Heman, the detonate actually hit the mage as well. So an absolutely fantastic detonate there from Madfrog, and that detonate early in the game is huger than you would think. I know it might not look much, and I'm sure a lot of you miss these tiny little things in games like this, but if you can get that detonate off on an early mage, it kind of screws him up for the whole beginning of the game, making it very difficult to creep. So Demon Hunter creeping with the aid of that Ancient of War at the top of the ramp, the Troll Priest obviously hitting up the ramp and missing the Demon Hunter about 25% of the time, I think it is.
Players' forces are under attack.
So level 2 there for the mage, much needed so he can get Brilliance Aura and start getting back some of that lost mana. And as you can see, He-Man is doing that quick expansion. Quick expansion, pretty close to done. So Demon Hunter, early Moonwells, 3 Moonwells early, slower tech than normal because he's got those extra Moonwells that you don't normally see. You usually see a Night Elf player getting only 1 Moonwell at this early stage of the game. So those 3 Moonwells are very useful. Now, Madfrog got exactly 14 wisps, 19 food, before upgrading to tier 2 Tree of Ages. So he's not doing a very quick expansion. If he's doing a quick expansion at all, we'll see in a minute. Obviously it's not a quick expansion anymore if he starts it now. So Demon Hunter sent to harass a human player. So Immolation has been turned on. He-Man portals home, getting rid of this Demon Hunter. A lot of you ask me questions about what does a human player do versus a Demon Hunter. This is exactly what you do. You simply either run back if you're close to your base, or you portal home after you've finished with whatever creeps you're dealing with. I mean, if you're at a golem, the stone golem, then obviously you don't portal before you've got the super item. So you deal with it as best you can until you've got the opportunity to portal home if you're far away. So the Demon Hunter picking off that peasant here. So Hunter's Hall finished for Madfrog. It looks like he's going to be doing lores to Ancients of Lores at some point. The human player is doing a strategy that's quite common amongst human players now, this early harassment. The human player has an advantage at this stage of the game because Night Elf players generally only have a Demon Hunter. They have no units early in the game. So the footmen, the elemental, can pick off wisps if they come across them, or they can harass a constructing Tree of Life or Ancient of War, and as soon as the upgrade is taking place at tier 2, the human player can harass the constructing Ancient of Lores or Ancient of Winds, depending on what the Night Elf strategy is. So Madfrog is kind of running around with wisps, so he's obviously hidden them from the human player, which would otherwise have come across him and killed him. So the human player is heading for 6 o'clock. The human player is guessing that Madfrog has quick expanded at 6 o'clock because he sees no expansion at Madfrog's natural. So this is a good advantage here for Madfrog. It allows him to get his lore started. As you can see, he's got 1 started outside the golems and 1 in his main base. I mean, if the human player knew that Madfrog had not quick expanded, he would have been hanging around Madfrog's base and harassing those constructing Ancient of Lores. But as you'll see, he comes across just priests and sees no expansion. So he's probably slightly confused because this is very uncommon nowadays. You see nearly all Night Elf players quick expanding, but in this case we're seeing Madfrog go for a quick second hero and quick Ancient of Lores. Unfortunately, the mage has no portal and cannot get back, so damn, this is a problem here for He-Man. He's gone very, very far away from his base. So his only real option is to try and do his best with the units he has at his expansion, which is basically none, and kind of run back or try and creep that gold income back. Now his Mountain King is constructing and is nearly there, and that will be able to help him deal with this. So he's just retreating those peasants back, but unfortunately it's allowed the Demon Hunter to get to level 3 already. So the mage desperately trying to make its way back to his men so he can meet up with his Mountain King and deal with these 2 harassing heroes. And as you can see, Madfrog is indeed going for lots of dries. He has in fact got 3 lores. So the Mountain King is in the army, and Madfrog has the portal because the cooldown on the Stormbolt would soon have finished. And Demon Hunter was very, very low in health. So the human player, mage, 5 footman, I don't know if he has defend, but he was planning on creeping the golems, but has come across an Ancient of Lore. So the Night Elf player, having his main base right beside that, obviously can deal with this very well. Switching targets onto the Demon Hunter. You'll see this is kind of most top human players' basic kind of way of playing, is to ignore everything and just target that Demon Hunter, forcing the Night Elf to retreat back to his main base for healing. But unfortunately, to do that, your units tend to take a lot of damage, so it's kind of touch and go sometimes. I don't know if the Dryads have abolished magic yet. If he has abolished magic, he really should be getting rid of those elementals for the experience alone. So kind of strange that he's not doing that. He is just training abolished magic now, so I think that's maybe a small mistake. It's probably a worthwhile training abolished magic after 2 or 3 Dryads. You can get a lot of experience from those elementals if you come under pressure early. So Keeper of the Grove at level 2, Demon Hunter at level 3, and now it's all about harassment. Madfrog has no other choice in strategy now because he has no expansion. He-Man has a superior economy. If Madfrog was just to ignore the human player and go creeping, the human player would go creeping as well, and because of the economy alone, the human player would easily win this game. So it's absolutely crucial that Madfrog keeps up constant harassment and tries to keep Madfrog's army